married her daughter to a billionaire for 8 years, thought her daughter would live a happy life, but she was domestically abused 366 days a year. She woke up every day to be slapped, choking, but the woman did not dare to resist her perverted husband. She was afraid of getting her family involved. Her husband stroked her bruised hand, after a fake kiss, then he slapped her in the face, then he grabbed her hair, and threw her out of the room. Her son hid in the doorway, covering his ears with both hands. His movements were so skillful that it was heartbreaking. He saw his son there. He turned into a kind and loving father again, and explained to his son they were just playing a game, but the son knew. Every day such a scene, every minute of every day, the woman holding her son tightly, the son comforting his mother.
Çok acıyor mu?
Acımıyor bir tanem. Bugün de düşmanı püskürttük ya. Her şeye değer.
Mother and son huddle in the corner like this. 8 years of misery. May suffered in silence all the time. It's not that she didn't want to escape, but every time she tried to escape with her son, she was caught by the bodyguards. Nowadays, the internet is highly developed, but Mai couldn't even own a cell phone. Every time she makes a call, the maid gives her the phone, and she can only answer her husband's calls. After answering the call, the phone was taken away. But this time, May finally got her chance. Chong Wei was hosting a dinner tonight for his family who had been friends for generations. She had to cover up the bruises on her face, and she had to act like she was a good family man, and she had to look like a loving couple. May went to her room, and changed into a nice, elegant dress. Then she put on a thick foundation to cover the bruises, and that was it. The family came out pretending to be nice. Mike, the main character, took one look at Mai. This is the best looking woman he's ever seen. For a moment, he was a little embarrassed. Chong Wei introduced Mai to his friends and family. Mai graciously went forward to say hello and shake hands. But when he shook Mike's hand, he saw Mai's hand covered with scars. Mai turned her head to look at her husband. Luckily, he wasn't seen. Mai quickly pulls her hand back, calling everyone to dinner. The little girl at the table told her son. She was bragging to her son about how often she traveled. The son, who hadn't been out of the house for 8 years, looked at his parents. The son didn't know how to answer. He could only nod along with his father's words. But the son walked away very unhappy, but he accidentally knocked over the expensive crystal cup on the side. Chong Wei got up and threw a tantrum. Mike rushed to pull the boy away. May went up to her son and reassured him that it was okay. But the bruise on the other hand was seen by Mike again. On the other side, Chong Wei looked at the two of them. His face turned ugly. May hurriedly took her son upstairs. Chong Wei followed after her. After sending her son to his room, Chong Wei dragged May back to her room. He grabbed his hair and threw it on the bed. He couldn't stand the thought of Mai touching another man. He took May's hand. He said, "Which hand did you shake with, Mike?" He said, "I'm going to take that hand away." Then he broke Mai's fingers, covered Mai's mouth, and bent her fingers, and did not let her make a sound. And then she told Mai to come back and break her fingers again after serving the customers. Then she shed a tear. After coming downstairs, in front of the customers, he was back to his old handsome appearance, and Mai went to the bathroom alone. She took out a makeup pencil, and fixed her finger, and then wrapped it with gauze in a circle. The pain of the 10 fingers, but Mai was afraid to scream. After gritting her teeth and wrapping it up, Mai looked in the mirror. This time she couldn't take it anymore. She rushed back to her room, and grabbed some clothes. She stuffed her backpack with her son's clothes, took her son carefully downstairs, climbing out of the laundry room window. Just as the dinner party was ending, Mike was getting ready to go back with his family. Mai quickly hid behind the car with her son, pulling the trunk handle over and over, waiting for the moment when Mike starts the car.